Alright, yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm excited to be back. I've been so busy doing stuff, I won't even know where to begin. I just got a £1.75 charge from TFL for God knows what. Today, I'm gonna show you guys how I made this Future House drop. Alright, so for the first time, I actually want to begin with the vocal. Now, I will say this. If you have a singer friend, you're off to a head start. If you don't, I recommend either going on Splice or finding places for vocals. There's this new spot called Warbls. I found these vocals there, and the people over at Warbls sent them over to me. Now, they do charge for their vocals. It gives you full copyright and royalty and whatever it is. You can read it on their site. This right here is our vocal.
Falling apart, so I can't stop. Follow my heart, I can't stop myself. Falling apart.
So it's already got so many nice things to it. Like there's already a lower voice and a higher voice. Now you can do that by, for example, using little Ultra Boy. We do have to pay for that, so that's a whole other thing. And you can... So you can do something like that. Now, if you listen closely, there's already a small effect, like a lower bit of the vocal. So it is not just one voice, it sounds like. There's two voices.
I can't stop falling up. I can't stop.
Hard to describe if you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just adding this OTT here, create some depth and compress the high end. Then there's a delay effect on this transition bit here. Just so we can, yeah, like I said, it's a transition piece into the second bit. Then we have just a, like altogether reverb. What you can do here is you can program the reverb so that it only hits whenever the vocal isn't hitting. So you do that by going up till this, putting an empty slot on slot 1, going to 3D peak controller and doing something like that, and then going here. Actually, I would go on this one right here. Right clicking, link to controller, and then you find your thingy-majingy. You go input, inverted. Now I selected the wrong one, that's why it's not doing anything. So let me just fix that up. There you go, and then inverted.
I can stop myself from falling, free falling. I can stop myself.
So you're automating when it hits. Now that's a more professional way to do it. I'm just getting rid of the sub. Ultimately, you want to add another layer to the vocal, I guess supporting the mids. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we're not doing that. Now we're putting some of it into a sidechain. Now some of it, because I want the vocal to stay nice and clean. I want us to be able to hear it. That's more pop. So some of it's going into straight into the master, and some of it's going into the sidechain, which is just giving the kick some space. So let's talk about the drums. We've got this kick here, and this is like the staple piece of this song. You don't even need to add any other drums in this future house genre, which in my opinion is at the moment kind of at a low. I feel like it's gonna make a comeback. Who's to say? Right here, hear this kick. What does it have? Let's listen to the highs. And that crunch, it sounds like we're walking in Minecraft. The mids. Someone's at the door, knocking. so much sub, you're getting punched. While normally I always cut the sub short, of a kick. This is all it's got going for it. Like, we don't have many complex drums. We have like no drums basically. So in essence, your kick has to be able to stand on its own. It's got to hit all the frequencies and it's got to take its time to breathe. It's the main boss in the building. So next up, we do have some percussion. Fret not, this video would be way too short if I didn't. First, some percussive hats. And we're alternating the volume of these hats in order to make it sound more alive. There's a whole theory behind it, but basically all you gotta know is play around with the volume of these hats in order to make it sound as someone's playing it. Because realistically, even if you tried, you really wouldn't be able to hit every single hat the same velocity as you hit the previous one. And you'd on purpose not do it in order to make it sound more groovy. Also, to make it sound more groovy, let's shift these off the grid like I have right here. Every second one. Layering on top of that, we got, and this is hitting the same second hat every bar, beat, every bar. 4 beats makes a bar, I think. So that's a bar. Yeah. All right, Quentin, let's do this. Basics of music. We're writing that into a drum bus, and you know that drum bus has a love filter on it. It's slowly opening up until breakdown and then drop. What else do we have? In the drop, we have, well, let's take a listen to this loop let's take a listen to this drum loop. We've cut anything in the bass. There's not much there anyway. So for the purpose of a clean mix, we've just gotten rid of that. Experiment with some loops, drop them in, have some fun. It's paradise. When it comes to clap, we've got a slightly pre-shifted, heavily compressed clap. And it's kind of slappy as well, so it slaps that kick together. Altogether, the drums sound like this. Yeah, boy. All right, and I guess finally we're moving on to the bass and synth. Right, so for bass, we got this fat boy right here. So, I mean, as it stands, it sounds pretty flat. There's not, like, nothing to it. All we're doing is following the vocal here, and that's why I started with the vocal, because the vocal just changes the entire song. So now, there's context. And I think this whole idea is about context. So because what do we add to that? Not only do we add a sub layer. So let's get rid of that vocal. But now we're going to play with harmonics. So we're adding this layer here. Make it moody, and another layer that is the same notes as the other one. So let's see what that is. If we were gonna layer it on the same notes, I mean, that's just gonna sound super, it will sound nice, but there'll be no emotion, there'll be no movement, and no variation. Now this suddenly becomes a melody. Also note that we can't just change the octave, because I mean, the music theory and shit, it won't work. Listen. So that would be, I mean, because look, the original note is right here. If we're going to put it through 3 up like the others, I mean, we're going to get that. So you gotta stay in the right key. You can tell I'm bad at explaining music theory because I don't know how to explain music theory. It's just come with experience, I suppose. And then, you know, in this beat part, you become more creative. You can do your own thing, completely fuck around with it. So, you know, I just put that like right there. Like that. That won't be in the downloadable version, but, you know, you could just follow along and make those changes. Yeah, and then so yeah, that's it. And basically these things, basic synth, kind of punchy. We're modulating the tuning a little bit, pitch, make it kind of 808y. This is a preset patch from Spinnin' Records. Saw waves with a low pass filter. A little bit of down samples, chorus, compressor, hyperdimension, we chillin'. Over here, what do we got? These bells. Well, I turned them into bells, but they originally are a lead. Kind of like, they're unsure about what pitch they are, so they sound emotional. Sick Red and 6 sample pack, a preset pack, so good. Then the effects, we got this one riser right here. So awesome. This is Tool Room Academy's sample, I believe. And it is so, I mean, this one is almost like anti-tonal. You can put in any key this, like, you know. Like, I could just randomly change this. It'll still work. It's such a good riser. And yeah, to be fair, this video is really simple because I just want to demonstrate how simple it is to make Future House. This is a free FLP. Go ahead, download it. I hope you learned a little bit of something. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.